He has a message that resonates across generations. He will bring us back to once when we were starting to dream, but stopped doing, because we wonder what we thought was possible. So as we grow older, yes, people like me, sometimes we often trade wonder for practicality. Yeah, we have to trade that, right? There are some trade-offs as we grow older. We convince ourselves that dreams are unrealistic, we have outgrown them, and it's probably safer to pursue what feels approved. What if the very thing that we have been told to tame, which is our wonder, is actually our greatest asset? And like many of our speakers tonight, our last speaker of the day, Jing En, is stepping forward with courage, offering his story not as an answer, but as an invitation. So let's put our hands, we all come together. Jing En.
For those of you who realize that I didn't look at you, it's because you guys remind me of the haters that told me that my dreams are impossible. Now, raise your hand if you ever had a dream so big, even you thought yourself it was impossible to achieve. When I was in primary 1, my P1 teacher loved to ask us this simple question. What do you want to be when you grow up? For me, I love answering that question. No, because as a kid, I loved to dream about everything possible that I could do. Oh yeah, that's me, very cute. I used to play FIFA with my brother every day, and I will imagine myself playing for FC Barcelona, my favorite team, at the home stadium one day. Or I'll be playing Pokemon a lot, and I'll imagine myself being the best Pokemon trainer in the world, collecting more Pokemon, beating gym battles, and one day be the best Pokemon champion. Or I'll imagine myself traveling the entire world, being able to go to different countries, see the world, and experience what the world is like. For some of these dreams, I realized that maybe I might not be able to achieve them one day, but I never stopped allowing myself to dream. And more importantly, I didn't really care about what everyone thought. All that really mattered to me was that I just wanted to dream and think about how possible it could actually be. But things changed when I went into secondary school. Because in secondary school, there was a dream that I wanted so badly that, honestly, nothing else really quite mattered. It wasn't to get perfect grades. It wasn't to get a girlfriend yet. But more importantly, I wanted to be the president of the Students' Council. Because back then, with whatever mind my 15-year-old had, I thought that by being the president, I could do all sorts of things. I could determine what the school rules were. Yeah. I thought that, I could also plan all the fun events for my entire council and the school. But more importantly, I believe that when I was the president, I could have a lot of impact and influence on the school itself through my leadership. And the funny story, right, is that for that year, there's only one champion who decided to go for that role. That's yours truly. So I was like, you know what, I can't be that bad, democratic votes, it's going to be fine. And my friends were really nice about it also. They come up and they'd be like, hey, bro, I tell you, you're the only one running, we got you, supporting you. Some will be like, hey, Jing En, we love your energy leh. I tell you, I just go there, rah-rah a bit, okay one. So I was like, yeah, I got this, man. So I would spend hours, preparing for my speech, thinking of all the creative ideas, very excited to go for the role. Soon enough, the big day came, right? If you were with me that very day, you'll see a very excited Sec 3-year-old kid, standing there, wow, cold sweat everywhere, heart beating very fast, and I gave the best speech of my life. Or so I thought lah. I went out there, I was like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited to serve all of you, please vote for me, rah! Wow, they're giving macam cheer vibes, yeah? Don't know why. But anyway, I thought I did a bloody great job. Very fun. Then, 3 days later, we are back to the same lecture theatre, when my teacher decided it's time to announce the new results or the new appointments for the exco that year. And soon they flash the results on the big screen like this. Very excited. I try to search for my name from the top. I look for my name, searching, looking, all the way down. Because my friends, what I realized was that my name was at the top. I wasn't nominated to be the president, nor the vice president, not even secretary. Where I was that I was just somewhere at the bottom, being selected to be a section leader, far away from what I wanted. And surrounding me, I could hear people say different things. The same people who say that I could do it. They were saying things like, actually, his ideas, so lah, a bit too xiao lah. Some people were like, actually, the teachers didn't really like him. So, maybe that's never get. That day, my friends, all in my head was thinking about how idiotic I was to even believe, to even dream, to even wonder that I could do all of those things. That day, my friends, I didn't just lose an election, I lost my ability to wonder. When I went on to JC, I picked a school that I thought was matching to my grades. I loved my experience there, but what I realized was that I was competing with so many people, it made me so stressed. I also chose a CCA at the start called cross country, which was the best CCA in that school. But about 2 weeks later, I quit the CCA because I didn't even want to compete for cross country, and I hated the culture there. I tried to chase the most prettiest, most popular girls, only to be ignored. But the worst of it all, my friends, was that I started to say things that I thought people wanted to hear. I started doing things that I thought people wanted me to do. And then after a while, I realized I stopped dreaming. When was the last time you stopped dreaming yourself? When was the last time you stopped wondering what is truly possible in your life? This continued for a really long time until, that was really some of the days that I felt really bad. And so enough, when it came to junior college, it was in the year 2020. It was the year that COVID-19 hit. I was doing my A-levels that year, and I met this really interesting teacher. He's called Mr. Kun. Now, Mr. Kun was my GP tutor, but he was a very interesting guy. He didn't just teach us about writing essays, he taught us a lot about the world, about politics, culture, human behavior, which was far more interesting than anything that I've learned in school. But the day that changed me was actually on Children's Day. Now, Children's Day that year was actually about 1 week before our prelim examinations. So naturally, all of us were really anxious, we were really scared, we didn't know how well we were going to do. But instead of rushing through the different comprehension exercises, he decided to give us a letter instead. To tell us that, hey, this year is Children's Day, this day is Children's Day, and I have a message for you guys. So he wrote us a same message for every single one of us, except at some point in the letter towards the end, there was actually a blank space where he decided to write a personal observation of every single one of us. I'm not sure whether you can see what he wrote for me here, but I'll read it to you guys because this line changed my life completely. He said this. He said, Jing En, your voice is a voice of enthusiasm, but that voice might not be fully honest to yourself and what you truly believe in. If no one else in the world existed, what is it you truly want to say? Wow, that day, my friends, I was so stunned. I was like, wow, this is the first time someone asked me what I truly wanted to say. Because for so many months, so many years, I've been listening to what everyone tell me to do. I was just saying what they wanted to hear so that I thought hopefully maybe I'll be liked. But what is it that I really wanted to say? And then he said the most amazing thing that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. He said this to all of us in class. He said, class, every single one of you holds a child within you. The child that has the courage, the wonder, and freedom that you might have lost. Learn to embrace the child within you, and when you do that, any reality that you want to achieve in your life is negotiable. You can negotiate anything in life if you dare to wonder. So that day, my friends, after I went home, I started to look at all of the most successful people that I know in my life that far. And right now in this room, I can tell that there are many successful people. Like this lady over here, really successful. Like this gentleman over here, right? Do you think they are successful, sir? Yes, we love their self-belief, right? So I look at all of these, successful people in my life, and do you know what I realized? Every single one of them, they probably met an objection in their life before. They probably met some challenges. They were also met by people who told them that their dreams were silly and impossible. But one thing that made them different from every single other person was that they never dared, or they never stopped wondering what was possible for them. And they took action. They took action. And they just made things happen. So I started to ask myself, wow, what else can I do? I'm about 18 years old back in the day. What was it that I could continue doing? And then I realized, ladies and gentlemen, that I still had the child within me. I could still dream. So I started dreaming. After my A-levels, I actually had a wonder of mine. Is it possible that for me to be an author and publish my own book? At the point in my life, I realized that whenever I go to the library, it's always a bunch of middle-aged man or lady writing a book, and they have a lot of life experience. So at the point in time, I was like, yeah, I'm going to wait like 20 more years before I write my own book. But then I started to wonder, is that really true? Do I know of anyone who has written a book when they were in their early days? The answer is yes. Because on the gent on the right, the more handsome one, he is my mentor, Darren T, the world champion of public speaking. And for him, he wrote a book when he was in his early 20s, sharing his public speaking skills. So I went to ask him, I was like, Darren, you wrote a book in your 20s, how do you do that? He looked at me and he's like, come on, Jing En, you're so silly. You don't need to have a lot of life experience before you write your own book. All you need to do is to write and share experience for someone who is just a few steps behind you. So you went for my internship, right? You learn how to be a better speaker, you learn how to be a better intern, document the process and share with people. There are people who want to listen to that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do that. And in about 1.5 years, I released my own book, Backstage with a Crazy Eloquent Asian. And the funny part is now, my book is sitting on the shelf with all of those middle-aged ladies and men that I want to look upon. How cool is that, right? Thank you. That made me continue wondering, well, that's one thing. What else could I do next? Second thing that I wanted to be a singer-songwriter and release my own music. Now, this was a hard one for me because I know that when I was born, I don't have the voice of Eric Cho or Jay Cho. Very hard to sing. In fact, I hated going to karaoke because I couldn't sing very well. And by the time that I had this wonder, I was already in my early 20s, and I was like, it's probably too late for me to even dream about this. But now, I start to wonder, is that really the case? The answer is no. Why not I find a mentor to guide me, to help me to achieve this? So I met my teacher, his name is Awi. He's a singer-songwriter and an artist himself as well. So I met him before I came to university. I told him of my dream. I said that one day, I want to release my own song and share with the world. Is it possible? He told me, yes, you can do it. So for 3 years, I worked with him, a lot of practicing, and every single time that I felt lost and despondent, he was the one that told me to never stop wondering and believing in my dreams. And fast forward, just last year, I managed to release my own song. I Know We Tried. It's on Spotify, it's on YouTube, and 3 years ago, I would not have even imagined that was possible for me. It was only because I dared to wonder and dared to believe it was possible. Another wonder that I thought about, I made it happen. One more for you guys. A wonder of mine. I always wanted to find work that feels like play as an adult. A lot of my friends around my age has already graduated, and they are right now working in corporate life. They're telling me that they don't like their job, they're just working for the money, and they don't have passion for what they're doing. I didn't want to live like that. I still wanted to do something that I look forward to every single day. So when I was finding my internship recently, I came across this company called the Travel Intern. I was looking at the videos and I was amazed because as I watched their videos, what I saw was a bunch of creators traveling the world, creating content, having a time of their lives, and that is their job. So I was like, wow, could I do that? Instead of following everyone else who is going to the corporate world, earning money, slogging their life away, could I do something that I liked? Yes, I could do it. I applied for the internship, and with my gratitude, they said yes to me. And it's been 2 months since I'm with them. The right side is me in the picture in a Lord's costume in Coney Island for a video of just having a fun time. And just 2 weeks ago, we came back from Vietnam from our very first boot camp. And I was working with my mentors, my teammates, and I learned so much about exploring the world, creating content, telling stories that matter to the entire world. And all of this could only happen because I dared to wonder what is possible in my life. And I realized that I can keep dreaming, I can keep wondering if I listen to the child within me. The reason why I share all my story with you guys is for one simple reason. Every single one of you sitting here in this room today, do you have a child within you that is you dreaming, hoping, and believing that things are possible in your life? I've seen way too many people kill their younger selves, their 5-year-old dreams, and honestly, it saddens me because I believe that that child within you still wants you to achieve the dreams that you want in your life. No matter whether you are 16, 56, 86, that child is still guiding you wherever you go. You know, for me, once upon a time, I used to be a shy and introverted kid, but then I wondered to myself, is it possible for me to be confident and stand on stage? Right now, I'm an MC, professional speaker, and continuing to stand on bigger stages. I used to be losing all of my council elections. I never got any position that I wanted. But then I started to wonder, is leadership all about appointments and positions? Could I serve in different ways? The answer is yes. I took on different mentorship roles to guide my juniors, whether it is through just sharing my life stories, just being with them through their council journey, and it brought me so much more joy and inspiration. I used to wonder whether could I get a girlfriend. And today, I'm still wondering whether I can get a girlfriend. But that gets me excited every single day. When will my girlfriend come? I don't know. To be revealed soon. I don't know when. Yeah. The reason why I can feel so much joy and purpose in my life every single day is because I listen to this child within me to tell me that, hey, things are possible, whatever that you want, if you really want it, you can achieve it. And I believe the same is true for every single one of you here today. And before I close off this sharing, I'd love to tell you a quote that one of my best friends told me when I was a bit lost in my life. I think this quote is going to resonate with most of you over here. How do you know whether you're on the right path in your life? When the path in front of you disappears. My friends, take back the pen from every single person in your life who is telling you what to do, especially those that tell you that your dreams are impossible, the people who tell you that you are not worthy, the people who tell you that things that you want to do will never be achieved. Take back the pen and write your own story. Chart your own journey, chart your own path, because when there's no more path in front of you, that is when you know it is the right path for you. And I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, when you chart your own path, you will live the most wonderful life you can ever live. Thank you very much.
Any questions for me? Yes, question?
How do you get all the connections?
Oh, how do you get all the connections? A very good question. Anyone in specific that you are wondering about?
They get paid to speak.
Oh, get me to speak. So I think actually how I got to know Eric was a very kind gesture by my dad, because my dad was the one that introduced me to this program initially. Initially, I want to be a speaker, and my dad actually knows it. And he was just offering me to attend the course. Initially, I was a bit skeptical, but then he was like, hey, just go for it. You never know what will come out of it. So it's also a bit of the idea of wonder that I was like, hey, I'm pretty young, right? Honestly, when I'm with this crowd in Get Paid to Speak, it's a lot of people who are a lot more older, a lot more experienced, they have a lot of life stories to share. What could I share at like the age of 20-ish? Not much. But then I choose to believe that, hey, even if I might not have that ability to share the stories yet, I can make the connections first, talk to people, and maybe I'll find myself somewhere. Like, even Jeslin, right? She was the one who invited me to this event. It was because of Get Paid to Speak. So thank you, Jeslin, for the very kind invite. And it's really just by connections and just by talking to people. So you really never know where all of these experiences that you choose will lead you to. Yeah, so just trust in yourself and magic will happen in your life.